team, it is MurderInc on the test server for Raid Shadow Legends, and there's a new poisoner on the block, and his name is Corvis the Corruptor here. Legendary defense-based Sacred Order champion. Glad to see some more Sacred Order champions. For sure, I feel like everything's been undead. One of the elves, dark elves, high elves, one of them, but nice to see Sacred Order kind of coming into the mix here again. So, new poisoner, blue affinity, which I like a lot. And what can he do? First of all, he looks awesome. Second, let's go over his kit. A1, attack down 40% up to a 60% chance for 2 turns. Fine, nothing crazy. A2, attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit increases the duration of all enemy debuffs for 1 turn. Very good. The second hit increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. Also very, very good. So his synergy already, just based on the A2, off the hook. Right? Now let's see what the A3 does. Attacks all enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 75 up to 100% chance, once booked, of placing 2 5% poisons. After attacking, places a 25% poison sensitivity debuff on enemies under 2 or more poisons. So places 2 poisons as poison sensitivity, he's going to be pumping damage for sure. Next, the passive. I love this passive. Decrease the damage enemies under poison debuffs, inflict 5% less damage per poison debuff, stacking up to 25%. So this guy is providing a 25% damage reduction, which is a lot, by the way. I can't stress how much that is. 2 enemies under poisons, and he's going to have no problem keeping up these poisons because he applies 2, and then he extends the debuff, meaning if you pair this guy with a turn meter booster and he gets more turns than the enemy, he is going to be overloading the enemies with debuffs, poisons, and you're going to hit this 25% easy, no problem. And next, of course, we have an aura, increases defense in all battles by 30%, huge, huge, huge. Base stats being 19,000 health. Not too high. He's a defense-based champion. I wouldn't expect it to be high. Base defense, though, just under 1400. That's very high for sure. Base speed is 99, which is definitely average. And as we can see, I'm running regeneration. What does that mean? We're trying to solo some dungeons. If we can pass the test with this, then we're going to see how good he's going to be in teams. And ideally, he's already going to be very strong in teams with his passive alone. But what is the first thing I noticed and kind of hinted on? It's the fact that he's magic affinity, right? So magic affinity, if you know anything about soloing dungeons, it's not going to be too good in the dragon. Why? Because dragon state 25 is red affinity. So the fact that the dragon's red affinity and he's weak affinity, he has to hit the targets, makes this kind of a weak. I mean, I can kind of just show you very, very quickly here. So let's just go ahead, plug and play this, and you'll get to see firsthand why it's not that optimal. I don't really have to explain this, but okay, so we got lucky. That's kind of course, it's going to show good luck when I start doing this for the video, but all in all, you're not going to want to do this. So we extend some buffs, we add some more poisons. I mean, this guy's just taking no damage. He should be taking a ton of damage because he's weak affinity to the waves here, but he's just not. So everyone knows when you're doing progression, once you hit that where your strong champions are facing a strong affinity, you're in trouble. You're RNGing like 1,000 energy just to get one good run because you don't want to have to build a champion just to get you through that next stage. So this guy, I mean, he's kind of blowing through this with no problem. And what's funny is, think about the amount of HP and defense I gave him. It was nothing. But the fact that he's getting poisons in and it's reducing the damage by 25%, I cannot stress that enough and how strong that is. He's just taking no damage. I mean, think about any other champion trying to do this wave right here. That ability from the Shatterbones destroys, and on top of that, it's strong affinity against this guy. So I think it's going to be a different story once we get to the dragon. I'm kind of hoping, because I'm going to look kind of stupid if he kind of blows through this. It's not fast. That's the first thing to take away from this. This isn't going to be fast, but not everyone's looking for fast. Some people do want consistency here. And like I said, the HP and the defense values I gave this guy, they're not high at all. I kind of focused on HP because his base HP was so low. And think about his health. When was the last time you saw this guy getting crit fall below 50% HP? Granted, I have a ton of speed on him, but now let's drop the speed and he's still not going below 50%. So this is kind of where I'm curious to see about. As long as the poisons do land true. We don't have to land too many because we are extending, but he's going to start taking a ton of damage for sure if he gets stunned over and over again. I believe it's 3 or 4 times and it's like a guaranteed one shot. But look at our poisons. We're stacking. We have attack down now. We have increased poisons on this guy. Duration increase. So, I mean, he can do it. So, all right. I just contradicted myself in this video because I wasn't too sure about it. Didn't want to test it, but it's just that OP. It's not fast, like I already said, but he's going to get the job done even on the wrong affinity. Now, the reason why I'm not going to 24, I did test 24. Why is 24 bad? Because you have mobs that cleanse the buff and it's going to take forever. And we don't want to take forever. When I say forever, I mean like 5-6 minutes. That's just not worth it, and you would just build a team with this guy in it and then use him for stage 25 if you have to. So he's a safe bet. So with that being said, what are his limits? I would say, unless you want to lower the speed, we can go over my speed one more time here. If you wanted to lower the speed, let's go to recently used. Okay, Corvis the Corruptor. So I'm running a ton of speed at the cost of health, right? So this is way better gear than you would need for that Dragon 25 by a mile. But this health and this defense, if you've ever soloed Ice Golem before, you know this is not going to cut it on pretty much any champion. So what I would have to do is I would have to lower his speed, which I can probably do with the banner here. Let's just go ahead and aim for HP. What do we got? What do we got? 8,000 HP for 32 speed. We like that for sure. For 17, we don't want to go too low on the defense. So let's just go ahead and full send it. I mean, we're not hitting the full DR on defense, so that is a viable option as well. I don't believe they ignore defense. Let's just take a look and see what our options are. So defense, attack percent, and speed would be ideal. Let's go to substat, HP percent, and then defense percent. What do we have? Solid piece for sure. Accuracy is now a bit low, which is a problem, obviously. Let's go ahead and use some glyphs here. Glyph of defense, why not? Don't care about speed. The point is to show what lower speed can do. And then we'll just use a 5-star glyph here. Okay, so this is looking much better. Let's go ahead and equip this. Now we have to kind of bump up our accuracy as much as we can here because we're about 20 accuracy short for all relevant content, right? So we're gonna go here, slam this. +1, really? For the video, you're gonna +2 for the video? Okay, I mean, I'll take that. That's not the worst thing that could have happened. Finding accuracy, not finding any accuracy. Okay, here's a +6. Let's slam it. 14, we take those. We take those for sure. HP, attack, don't need it. So, I mean, we're still short. We're at 210. What do? We head over here. We reset all of this. We're going to focus a little bit more on the accuracy side of things here. I'm going to go for this. And let's just, let's just full send here. Accuracy, as much survivability as possible. I'm okay with the counterattack. It's going to make the runs take longer, but it is what it is, right? So now that we've sorted this, we could just take pretty much anything here. Decrease damage if stunned. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Accuracy with no cooldowns. He's always going to have something on cooldown. So let's go ahead and look at what we can do for the Ice Golem if we can survive stage 25, which is rather difficult with the stats we're currently showing here. Let's see if we can fly through this. The DR is stacking up fairly nicely for sure. We're taking damage. He's getting crit. We need to get those poisons on ASAP for sure. Okay, attack down, strong. He's got no buffs on him. What would be interesting to see is putting him in something like a shield set and then extending that shield set with his A2 just for the waves purposes. It'll definitely give him more survivability. That provoke landing is pretty bad. But thankfully we have regen set and that, okay, so this is what we really have to focus on here. This wave does a ton of damage. Now we were lucky and we got poisons off at a good time, but if we didn't have this cooldown up, I mean, look at his health already. This is going to be a crit. Yeah, so even with this gear, he isn't able to do it. Unfortunate. He needs more health. And the problem with more health, as we kind of already stated with this champion, we're getting way too much. We're getting even further into whale territory, right? We don't have empowerment. We don't have blessings. That would make the world of difference for sure. But 75,000 health, just under 4,000 attack, 258 speed, resistance, accuracy. These are endgame stats as it is. Boosting this up just to solo the Ice Golem slowly, you see what I mean? It's just not worth it, no matter how you look at it. However, if you do have this guy and you want to start tackling the lower stages here, I mean, it's going to take this forever to do it on green, even though he is strong affinity. The problem is the waves that are going to cleanse his poisons. I'm pretty sure it's wave number 1, right? Yeah, so what are they going to do? They're going to get rid of their poisons. Looks like not yet, so this is a good sign. But once all of these ads are dead, now the 2 champions, I don't even know their names, the one with the shields, they are going to start, yeah, so there's the cleanse, there's the second cleanse, so we're already at 30 seconds here, so it's looking pretty damn slow. Now we're just doing raw damage to those champions because they have block debuffs, and we cannot get rid of that at all, so it's just a slow bet. I mean, look, 4,000 damage, 5,000 damage. We have to wait until the 3 turns this runs off and then hope the poisons come back up before they reapply it. It's just, look, 50 seconds, probably past the minute by the time we're done here. Okay, 55 seconds, 56. But after this, we should be game, set, match, right? We're strong affinity, we're applying a damage reduction, and what I really wanted to show, and the purpose of this is once we get to the Ice Golem, once we get there, smooth as butter. This guy is so much fun to watch on the boss, so I'm looking forward to getting there and showing you just how much damage the Ice Golem takes once this guy starts ramping with all of the poisons and poison sensitivity on this. Okay, looks like one more turn. Here we are. We don't have to worry about him counterattacking or reviving the ads unless we get really unlucky because we're not using War Master and this guy does like negative damage, right? So all of this, extending the duration, we get a bunch of turns because our speed is relatively good, getting multiple turns in between the single turns here. So more poisons. We already skipped the first threshold. Buff extended. I think we just skipped the second threshold now. Now he should be full on debuffs. We just have to get past one more threshold without triggering him. And we did just that. So game, set, match, easy. 2 minutes and what's the final time going to be? 15 seconds. Hard to complain about that. Even though it is pretty annoying that the amount of gear that you need from 24 to 25 is so large, he can still do 24 quite quickly, and he's still a very, very strong champion. So that's going to be the breakdown on this new poison champion. This guy's strong. His passive's crazy strong. I know I'm kind of showing you his animations and all of this stuff as a solo character, but this guy in a party, I don't even care who you bring. You want to start bringing War Maiden into higher levels of dungeons, this guy can make that happen. So that's kind of why I'm stressing on how strong the passive is, poisons, everything he does. Another brilliant kit on this most recent release of new legendaries. So that's going to conclude this video here today. Give me your thoughts and feedbacks. Who would you run him with? How hyped are you about this champion? What do you think about him quality wise as a champion compared to some of the, I guess, filler legendaries we've seen lately that aren't very good? So give me your thoughts and feedback. As always, if you enjoy this content, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next upload.